Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Coach Approach. I'm Brian Mahan, and let's get into our topic today: how to become a coach. All right, everybody, let's get into how to become a coach. Now, you want to get on the field or on the court, these are 5 very important steps that I think you need to have. One is to get that college degree, preferably a 4-year degree. 2, if you don't have any type of degrees, you can volunteer. 3, have a little bit of playing experience. College is great. If you don't have it, it's not necessary. 4, network, get to know people. And 5, learn the game that you want to coach in order to become the best coach possible. Now, like I said, these are just 5 of the steps that I think are important. Other coaches have different opinions. So let's go through each one. All right, so let's talk about the first step in becoming a coach, and that is to get that 4-year college degree. Now, the best thing to do is to have an education emphasis in teaching, all right? Best to have one of them in a core area. Those core areas: science, math, English, social studies, physical education, business, even a CATE subject, something like, you would find like with welding or automotive, something like that. I did not learn this as a young coach, but a coach is a teacher and a teacher is a coach. I kind of neglected one half of that as a younger coach, and I learned my lesson. I was lucky enough to have an assistant principal to teach me that lesson. Now, here in South Carolina, we're in a teacher shortage right now. So any position really is good if you have that teaching endorsement. The physical education jobs, they're still tough to come by. There's a lot of PE majors that are graduating and coming out, and they tend to find those jobs really fast, and those fill up very, very quick. So if you're in science or math right now and you want to be a teacher and a coach, you can pretty much find a job anywhere. Okay, so our second step: become a volunteer. If you don't want to get that degree, or you don't have a degree with a teaching emphasis or an education emphasis, this is a great way to get into coaching too. From an aspect of one, those of us that are in there, we like to have volunteers from the community. I have worked with many in my career, and some have turned out to be really excellent coaches. Now, most state organizations and school districts do have some requirements. For example, in Kentucky, you got to have so many credit hours, almost equaling up a 2-year degree. Here in South Carolina, we just require you to pass a background criminal check, take some classes from the National Federation of High Schools, and pretty much go through a district orientation. All right. A lot of coaches have really started off this way. I can think of one prime example, and happened to be here in South Carolina. He became head coach at Coastal Carolina, and that was Joe Moglia. He was a CEO of TD Ameritrade. He was, before that, a volunteer coach at Nebraska. Then he went to be the CEO, and then all of a sudden he came out and got the head football job at Coastal Carolina. So volunteering is a great way to get in. We as coaches, we like having community members come out. And of course, we're always going to ask you what your experience is. All right. And, that goes a long way. All right. So I kind of gave a hint at our next step, and that's your playing experience. Now, anytime you go into an interview, you're always going to be asked this question, what type of playing experience do you have? What's your background? Now, it does help if you've played the sport that you want to coach. That's a given. But, a lot of coaches, they don't really have that much playing experience. There's a lot who only played high school. and then went on to bigger and better things. Joe Gibbs, who was famous for coaching the Redskins to all their Super Bowls. Mark Few, who's the head basketball coach at Gonzaga. Mike Leach, rest his soul, that was the former coach at Mississippi State. Frank Martin, former college basketball coach here at the University of South Carolina. So it is possible to go on to bigger and better things without having such a grand playing experience. Now, you do need to have that knowledge. Like I said, it does help. Don't expect to just walk in and become a head coach or, in football, become a coordinator. That's not going to happen. That's a false reality unless you have just tons of experience, especially if you play professionally. But even then, that's, very far-fetched and very tough to do. So we believe that we can teach you the game, and we can teach it in a way that's going to help you become a better coach. All right, so our fourth step in how to become a coach is networking. This is probably one of the most important things that you can do, and that's get to know people. Networking will get you in the door faster than anything else will. We have an old saying, it's not what you know, sometimes it's who you know. And if you know the right people, it can help. This is a reality that all coaches know, okay? Getting to know the right people is very important. Now, who are those right people? 1, the head coach. 2, maybe an assistant. 3, an athletic director like me. 4, get to know some principals and superintendents, especially in your community. Now, it's tough to get with those people sometimes, especially the superintendents, because their time is very valuable. And the other one is teachers. Teachers can help you greatly as well because they can tell you what jobs are open and where to apply and how to go about it. So this is by far the most important one, other than getting that education degree, in my opinion. Get out there, put yourself out there, get to know people. Very, very important. All right, so our fifth step, probably the easiest one, that's learning the game that you want to coach. To me, this is one of the greatest things about coaching is learning things. Okay, there are a lot of resources out there for us today. Books, videos, clinics. Clinics are great to go to. I enjoy going there. For one, it's a great way to network and meet people. And 2, the coaches that put them on are very knowledgeable about that sport that they're coaching, and they're happy to share a lot of what they do with you and teach you some things that they may do. Now, all that doesn't always translate to a high school level, but you can adapt that as a coach. Talk to other coaches. We all like to talk ball. We'll be glad to sit down with you and talk from anything from, how to run the motion offense to how to run a 4-2-5 defense or any type of blitz combinations with coverages behind them, for example, for what I do. A lot of my knowledge that I have from coaching have come from clinics, okay? And a lot of the other part of my knowledge comes from talking with other coaches. Learning the game is key and essential to being a coach. I hope you all have enjoyed the video today about how to become a coach. Now, I know it was very basic stuff, but sometimes in the coaching business, basic is what helps you get along and what helps you be a good coach. Now, if you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button, like that video, come back and join us again on The Coach Approach. We'll see y'all soon.